Hello there, everyone. This is Soul17 here, and let me get through this like usual. I do not own this picture, and this is not a paid video. Alright, okay. So, um, well, just want to say this real quick. Sorry for the noise in the background. That is not my fan this time. That is my window open, and that is the machinery or vehicle or something going off. Yeah. I needed air in my room. It was starting to something just smelled like it almost died in here or something. I think, I don't know. I just need to air out my room. So yeah. And anyways, someone did ask for the Naruto Sub-Zero what if, but I'm trying to figure out the story of that one a little bit, because I was just gonna make it Naruto, just a regular Naruto way, have it just different. Then someone, but then I thought, why not make it the web Naruto just could use chakra? Was the only boy that could use chakra slash was the reincarnation of Sub-Zero. And then, someone thought I was gonna be doing a Deku Sub-Zero. No. So they said something on the lines of making it like futuristic for Naruto, but just doing it like it is, like what he asked was like. So I'm trying to do making it though a cross between Naruto and My Hero Academia. I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna go. Also, Haku will be Naruto's sister. So yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out how it's gonna go. So that what if maybe put it on like the last one I make. That's this new one. And so I decided to make this what if first. What if Naruto had the solo leveling system? So yeah. Well, no. What if Deku could use the solo leveling? If I said Naruto, yeesh. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I meant Deku. Why Deku had solo leveling? So yeah. Also, like I said, I think in my last video for this one, I am making a hero age down somewhere along the lines, and I am not making it similar to the Solo Leveling comic. There are a few things that will be similar to it, but not all of it will. So yeah, just know that. So not Naruto. So Deku does not have the sister. And yeah, and there are no hunters. The gates are gonna only appear for Deku, and that's it. Basically, he's gonna have like special missions. You'll find out in the what if. So let's just get into this, anyways. So yeah, this is what if Deku had the solo system, the solo leveling system. Part 1. Let's hope I make it good. This kind of was. I'm not making any notes unless I have to. So yeah. So as we all know, Izuku's going to the quirk doctor. This is where we're starting. He's quirkless. We know that. The story is the same. The story is the same throughout everything. And the only difference is, after Izuku is saved by All Might, he does still grab onto All Might. And he still basically, gets the whole entire saying you can't become hero. But the difference is there is no second sludge villain attack. And this is where our story begins. And so after a while, basically after his dreams had been crushed by All Might, Izuku just had enough. He is walking down the stairs to the building. He doesn't know what he wants to be anymore. He doesn't follow the villain. He doesn't want to follow the villain path, and he won't. I picked a bad time to make this what if, but please deal with it. I'm sorry, but I uh, yeah, it's like 50 degrees outside, and it's almost 50, I think, and it's really nice. So yeah, but anyways, so basically, Izuku, what got out of the building. He's just he looks like he's dead on the inside. Like his eyes look like that. Like everything he knew was crushed, and he just walks home. And when he gets home, he just goes to his room and basically just sleeps. That's all. He just sleeps. Inko doesn't know what happened. He doesn't come out for dinner. He doesn't come out, to talk. Heck, Izuku, like, they don't take any tests. He goes to school and he does what he does, like, for the next, like, 2 months. I mean, for the next month. And but then in the second month, Izuku, well, Izuku basically just gets out of his room finally. His hair is a little bit longer. It's not messy. Let's just say like he's been his natural broccoli head is like he's been like combing it and making sure it's like he's been changing it. So basically he has like bed hair just like it's old way, but then he basically starts fixing it. It's more straight now. So yeah. As Izuku basically just comes out and says, "Hey mom, what's up?" She goes, "Izuku, you finally come out for something to eat." And he has basically just been drinking water. He's been survive off in it. He goes, "Yeah, sorry about that." And Bako even knows the whole tire change and is like, I mean, no, it's not blah. That mouth and words not falling right, but Bako even knows Deku's natural change. So she asks, "What do you want to eat?" He goes, Whatever. I'm hungry." She goes, "All right." So she makes him a big meal, which he eats it all. He says, "All right, I'm gonna go out for a walk." She goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I need it." So what happens is, he does. He goes out for a walk, and he goes into the city. And during this time, there is a well, okay, first I'll pause, like, no, just want to say this real quick. We all know how, well, oh my god, I have his name. I know its name. Hold on. I it's a brain fart right now. Hold on. Alright, yeah, so Sun Jin Woo, he dies to get the leveling system. So, yeah, Izuku's gonna have to. But anyways, let's go back into this. And so, Izuku basically is walking along, just looking at the people being happy. He smiles at this, and he starts to think, if I don't want to be a hero or a villain, maybe, just maybe, I should be doing vigilante work. But it's bad. I mean, I could get arrested and in trouble. Plus, too many heroes and villains will be after me. I don't have power. But as in all of a sudden, Izuku hears from near like a building that's getting like having like being like rebuilt. There's like a crane that has metal beams. He hears like basically this strap like break. As then, what happens is that it basically it's falling as everyone's screaming, like people are saying get out of the way, as like basically a little, well, let's just say someone's crying. Little girl's scared, and the mom just out of fear forgot her child, which is kind of a bad thing, but at the same time, like you'll forget about everything but survival, like survivor instincts. So Izuku rushes in without even thinking. His body just moves. He grabs the girl and he throws her to like her mom. And a nearby hero was coming in. And let's just say this is um, a hero that I keep on, get me seeing in my comments. Mirako, you know, she's coming in, and she's coming in like too late though. Basically, what I'm saying is she heard the beams breaking, and she came in too late, as the beams were like, if you know the metal beams that they use in building a building, they're pretty heavy, so they're gonna come down real fast. So basically, as soon as Deku threw like the girl, they're already on top of him. He just smiles and says, "Well, this ain't swine diving, but hey, maybe I get a quirk in my next life." As he gets crushed by them, he doesn't die instantly though. So basically, what happens is, he hears something. It sounds like something just popped up right in front of him. Everything's slowing down. What's happening? Like time looked like it just stopped. As then it says, "Would you like to become a player?" As he goes, "What? Would you like to become a player? Answer this yes or no, or you'll die in the next 15 seconds." As Izuku says, "Yeah, I would. How? Yes." Basically, he says, "Yes, I would like to become a player." As he just doesn't care. If this is like, saying like, "Oh, it's gonna bring him back to life," he does not care. He just doesn't care no more. That's how his mindset is right now. And so what happens is he wakes up in the hospital, and for some rare reason, he doesn't know why, like, or what happened. But then he remembered the metal beams at the construction site fell on him. And so he's saying, like, I should be dead, but I'm not. What type of voodoo anime magic is this? I'm sorry. I'm gonna be making like some funny jokes or weird jokes, so it's gonna happen in this. But hold on, I need to check something out. Okay. Yeah, thought so. Something came up on my phone while I was recording. But yeah. Anyways, Inko comes in like astonished. Like when the paramedics came, like heroes like Mirako tried to get Izuku out along with other heroes that arrived too late, and they're surprised that he lived. So when Inko gets there, she basically like comes in and hugs him. She goes, "My Izuku, are you alright? How are you alive? Supposed to be metal beams." He goes like, "I don't know. I just got lucky." And he's noticing that there's a a screen right in front of him, and he doesn't know how he has it. So like he's not saying nothing though, because no one else can see it. The doctor comes in, and they said, "We did a thorough check on you to see how you're alive. You're quirkless. We know that, but maybe even though you have another joint in your toe, just maybe you had a secret quirk that allowed you to live. Maybe you're the next generation of quirks." Imagine that, where devil jointed means that you can actually have a quirk. I'll be very surprised, kid. Like, the doctor, like, is, like, just saying, thinking to himself, that is true, then. Maybe harder to tell which people have quirks or not. Man, next generation. I wouldn't mind that. Besides, this kid, there's, like, a lot of bruising on him. Surprising this kid lived that long, went through all of that because he's quirkless. Maybe I should run for mayor and change that. Or at least talk to the mayor about the quirkless people. But then, anyways, he snaps back out of it and says, "Anyways, we're gonna have you stay in here for a couple of days and check to see if you're alright. See if everything, is alright and no side effects, comes on. Alright, kid?" And Izuku nods. Inko says, she'll come by and visit, and he says, it's alright if you don't. It's basically, I'll be back. How many days? He says, probably this Sunday. He goes, alright. So yeah. So what happens is, Izuku is looking at the screen when everyone's gone, and he goes, huh. I wonder what I can do with this, or anything, really. As basically, there's like multiple tabs that have, multiple tabs appear. And there's even one that says daily quests. And just because, Izuku just reads it, he says about I think it was 100. Yeah, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10K run. And it's like it's still the morning. So Izuku says he can't do a a 10K run, but he can still do a little run around his room, and that's gonna be like a long time. So yeah. So basically Izuku says, I got nothing else to do. So he just start working out. He does, and he finds it hard to do 100 push-ups, sit-ups, and a 10K run. But the time limit, there was a penalty, so he's not gonna risk himself having that penalty. So that's what he thinks. He does it all, and he's tired. And basically, he does this for the next couple of days, like until Sunday. But basically though, during Friday, he basically gets a box, a rewards for completing it for the fifth day in a row without fail, and it's a key. This key will allow him to go into any, open up in any area. Anywhere he wants to, basically. And he goes like, alright. So, he's basically figured out it's kind of like a video game. The ways it works is basically like a little video game. There's a shop mechanic. There's basically, items. Even a leveling system. And he's been getting points for completing the tasks. And so, he basically has been saving the points up. He looks at his tasks, basically. I mean, not the task, but the leveling points. Basically, I think it had basically what they had in the solo leveling. It has there. I'm gonna have to check that out real quick so I can say it all. So basically, he has strength, agility, sense, dexterity, AP, and hold on, it's hard to remember. Okay, I think I got it now. Strength, agility, sense, vitality, intelligence, and AP. He has all of that. His intelligence is higher than his strength. His strength is about a 10. His agility is a 15. Because in this one, Izuku has been dodging his Bakugo's punches and all that, and he's been, good at that. His sensibility, not that great, And, well, his vitality is pretty high. It's near his, intelligence. It's a 19. His AP is approximately 0. He goes, it'd be nice that if this intelligent, basically this solo system got taught to me. Have a decent conversation with it. As then it says, hello there, I am the leveling system. Well, the intelligence leveling system, here to provide you with all your needs. Which Izuku kind of just gets shot by this. He was like, what the freak? What the heck is going on? And she goes, oh, allow me to introduce myself as basically a hologram appears. I'm sorry, I'm doing it this way because I think it'll be a little bit more fun. So, as basically though, a hologram appears of, let's just say, just somebody that it goes through Izuku's mind, and it basically went it shows someone that he trusts, which is his mom. He goes, huh? Wait, why are you my mom? And he goes, the leveling system says, oh, I went through your memories and chose a specific person that you trust. So that way you will not freak out anytime you see me. And so, your mother. Sorry if this is uncomfortable for you. I was like, it's fine. So, can you basically explain everything? She goes, okay. So, basically, you became a player. A player is basically not, well, does not follow the same rules as, well, the world they reside in. There are plenty of players, and, well, there's going to be monsters you're going to have to fight and basically kill, and also you have to collect their cores or crystals or whatever items you find in these dungeons that you're going to have to go to level up more. But here's the thing, you will be able to you sell them off with the system to get money, and you even can be able to even use it to have money in your world. Well, this as your currency, basically. As Izuku's going like, what else? He goes, you get skills, abilities, and plus a class system, which you have only two. Two classes you can become, which is highly unusual, but hey, it's not that. It's just highly unusual or rare, depending on who the person is. And so, you get your points that you can be able to put into your stats. And, well, basically, you're very smart for how old? He was 13 becoming 14. She goes, oh, well then, that is very intelligent. He goes, yeah, I'm a quirk nerd. She goes, quirk nerd? The intelligence system. So basically, I'm having to tell this leveling system learn about hero life and what heroes do, because I do not want Izuku to kill any heroes and or villains, depending on what type of villains they are. So yeah. So anyways, so Izuku explains about quirks and the heroes and villains, and that they've been a few vigilantes here and there in the world, but you know. She goes, oh, and what's your quirk then? He goes, I'm quirkless. That's also what people have, no quirks, and you get bullied for it, and ridiculed, and told you can't become a hero because you got no power. And the level system kind of feels, well, a little bit upset for this. It does know human emotions. And so she goes, well then, you have power now. Power beyond, what your society will know. Heck, you won't be able to, well, become a hero though, since it does look like you don't want to be one anymore. And Deku nods. And he does say, and I don't want to become a villain. She goes, then what about vigilante? He goes, I was thinking that before I died. I nearly died at least. She smiles and goes, alright, so what are you gonna do? Put your points in. And Izuku, since he did his daily quest, which was a Monday, which he was in the hospital for. So he did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 5 days. He has not used the points. So basically, he has increased in levels. He has gone up by the levels. He's level 5 right now. And so what happens is that he puts his points. He gets, since I said his strength is a 10, he puts in at least 5 right now. Then, for agility, was a 15. He puts in about a... Make it the same way as it... Like, he puts at least up to 21. So, wait, 5 times 10. It's 50. He has 50 points, so yeah. So this will work. So, basically, 5... 50... No, wait. 15, 21. So he puts in about 6. Since he makes it, well, he gives it at least a 20 points. Okay. And vitality, he increases that. Like, he increases that, like, to not be the highest, but being on the same level as his like his agility 21, which I think I never said what it was. Wait, no, I did. Uh, yeah. So basically, he increases that. Then with his intelligence, he makes that 25. No, and then with AP, he makes that 20 because he does not know why P's there, but he's not gonna do that. Basically that. Wait, no, he makes that at least whatever points he has left. Another. Okay, so I did 5, 6 cents to be 21 vitality. I think I made it around 19. So he makes it. Yeah, vitality was 19. So he just put in like 2 points in. Yeah, he puts in 2 points. Then intelligence, he made that 25 cents. He makes that around a 16. Yeah, I think he has enough points in. My math is correct. So he's saving the more points for later, which the leveling system says, oh, that's very good of you. Very smart to divide it and such. And it says, do you want to confirm this? And Zuko says yes. And then he notices a slight change in his self. It's basically he changed a lot. He is a little bit smarter. He feels stronger. So what he does, and then he asks the level system, could he keep training? She goes, well, you haven't, basically he has gone outside doing the take 10 run and all that. And so, oh yeah, because of also him leveling, his stats have gone up too. So it would, no, yeah, so, sheesh, I ever messed up. So since he's a 5, they always go up by 1 or... No, he has to put the points in, so... Yeah, I haven't messed up. So yeah, basically, Deku, decides Saturday night he's going to go out. But first he needs some money. He does ask the level system then. So I'm gonna go out and use this key. I need some money though. Is there a way for me to actually gain any money from the leveling system besides, fighting monsters and such? And she goes, oh yes, actually. Basically she has a little... Okay, I'm gonna close my window now and then turn on my fan because this noise. I think you guys would not want to hear that, so afterwards, yeah. So basically, she brings up a little screen that says a subquest, in which Zuko goes like, a subquest? Huh, what do I have to do? And then it's another workout thing. It's basically saying doing at least 50 push-ups, 50 crunches, 75 squats, and basically trying to do a 15-minute handstand for balance, and which Izuku does it. He has basically 2 days to complete it, but since he wants to get money and get some weapons on him, he does it. The handstand was the hardest part, which the leveling system laughs at him a little bit. He goes, "Hey, it's not that funny," and she goes, "Sorry," and so she does ask, "Would you like me to change my look?" And basically after he completes it, he gets the amount of coins he got in was about enough for 2 daggers and a long sword, basically. Which he found out he had an inventory. That's the other screen he had. And he goes, "Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Can you? It feels weird. So do I have any like select options or something? And the leveling system is adapting to Zuko, so it makes a few randomized like character models for herself, like for itself basically. And so he chooses a character model, and it is, let's say, what it looks like. I'm trying to think of girl characters that would be really cool to have. It looked like. Um, let's just say it looks like Erza from Fairy Tail. If I say her name wrong, I apologize to any Fairy Tail fans. So yeah, but basically, it basically showed one that he thinks would like look good, so he picks it, and it's like Erza. So, he basically, she asks how she look. He goes, well, one thing, it looked nice, so yeah. He goes, really? He goes, yeah. Anyways, about the storage, is it infinite? Will I have like a select number of items I can have, or or anything really? She goes, oh, infinite. You can hold as many items as you want in there, and you can store any items in this world in there too. And which it's like a miniature pocket dimension for your items, so it's unlimited. But she smiles at that, and he goes, "Sweet, all right." So he decides to rest, and then he basically puts but no, basically he trains the next day. He does his basically workout for the day, and then he asks if he can just go out for a little bit. During this time period, no one from his school knew what happened to him, not even Bakugo, and this is only during the second month. And so Izuku, goes out instead of like after deciding to basically just go out for a walk. He does not do what Sun Jin Woo would do, like basically go to a basically he would not go to a subway area and do the key there. He actually goes into a back alley, and like what he does then is basically put the key, like grabs the key and turns it, and all of a sudden a portal opens. As the level system, well, he says, "Hey, system, you mind if I give you a name?" She goes, "Of course. What will it be?" And so he just says, "How about Mitsu?" She thinks about it and she goes, "All right." So, yeah, he says, "All right, Mitsu. How's this gonna work?" She goes, "Oh, as soon as you enter here, you won't be able to leave until you defeat the boss." In which enemies will not respawn much. There'll be a certain number of respawns. And there'll be some health items in there, so do not worry. Well, most likely they will be. But, hopefully. He goes, "Hopefully? So I could die in here?" She goes, "Yes. You do have like HP, remember?" He was like, "Oh yeah." Like, "Oh yeah." Great. She goes, "I believe in you." So yeah, so Deku, goes in and the portal closes right behind him. And he just looks back and goes like, "Alright, no way out." And so his basically long sword, is basically just, well, I don't know. I'm not. No, I'm changing it. It's a sword. It's a regular sword. A Japanese katana. A katana basically. If you're wondering why I like them, they're my favorite swords for some weird reason. I don't know why. But yeah, and he has 2 daggers. Basically, though, I'm making Izuku having a whole wide range of weapons. these are just what he could afford. The daggers, though, he puts to his side and he's just holding the katana. The daggers, the basically the katana has a weird like look to it. It has a blue flame like look happening along the blade, and the grip is black and blue. Even the blade is black. For some weird reason, these items were the lowest, but yet he look at the stats and they're really high. I mean, he doesn't know why though, but they are. And so, yeah, the level system, I guess Mika, Mika basically kind of just didn't want to tell him that these items are technically, for him, the strongest weapons he could, buy. So, yeah. So, anyways, he's basically going through. The daggers, though, one of them has a weird look to it. It's basically looks like a regular dagger that you would see with an assassin would use in like one of those fantasy games, but the blade is weirdly like it has a weird glow to it. And the one that basically that's his left hand one and his right hand one is a curve. It basically the blade like goes straight then curves down a little bit, then goes up and then basically goes to a curve into a point. The handle basically has like a guard to it too. So yeah. And it has a basically a black and green look to it. So yeah. Anyways, as he goes through, he sees he encounters his very first enemy. And what he can see that I know there's like a red, orange, and then blue. The blue means he can handle it, the orange means it's a little bit tough, and the red means it's too powerful. So basically, Izuku sees orange. Like, he understood that. Like, it's powerful than him. So he goes, oh, great. Even though I'm level 6 right now. Alright. Let's do this. And it's not like what you would have, like a direwolf. I think that's what they were called. It's more like, though, it's basically a monkey this time. It's a monkey in my one. The whole entire look is basically the whole entire dungeon he's going through is basically walking through the streets, and even though it's the streets there should be like ammo based too. No, ammos are just randomly generated. It's what it looks like. So basically, it's a monkey that has a weird look to it. Like the tail, like the fur. I mean, the tail has like a weird rock at the end of it. Like, so, yeah. So Zuko goes after it. Like the monkey, comes at him, tries to fight him. He dodges it. Dodges the first attack. And Zuko then uses the katana and cuts like one of the arms off, like from like the elbow area. And then, like, the monkey, like, screams in pain and then tries to use its tail with the rock and tries to hit him. He cuts that off and then slices the monkey basically very quickly, because he knew he couldn't, like, last long with it. And so, like, he killed it. He gained, like, experience point. Like, he basically he got some experience points. He ain't gonna, like, level up, though. But he's, like, halfway. He goes, huh. As then Mika basically tells him to, look at the claws of the monkey, and then like he realized there's like a little like basically tint to it. So he goes, huh. As then he basically asks, is there like a scanner I can use to see which items will be good on them? If there's like any, since this is like a video game. She goes, yeah. So basically then he does. He looks at it and basically these claws can be used. So he basically takes them off. And he puts them in a storage item, and then he looks at the tail. It's a rock. It cracked open when it fell. And it has a weird liquid coming out of it. And then he goes, huh. what does this do? And he just says one way to test it out. He basically grabs a rock and drinks the liquid. As then he gets a little bit of a stats boost. Limited time, but it also healed him too. His agility increased for about 5 hours. And this is like and this one he went in the afternoon, so yeah. So basically this like he gets a stats increase, but there's gonna be like I'm making it where it's just a randomized one. So what happens next is he basically Mika says, when you put the rock into into your storage, the liquid will be automatically into a bottle, and then you'll be able to read what it can do. And so that's what he does. And then it appears in the bottle shape saying, a randomized status effect heals you about 100, 100 HP. Richard goes, huh, alright. So yeah, so basically he goes around, he meets a cat, then a dog, monkeys still around, animals that he has to fight. And he increases all the way up to level. Like he does this, he goes after these. Like the level, like it basically when he gets to a certain stairwell, he goes down a level. It looks like it's into the sewer, and then he meets like a fish enemy, basically a bat one, then even a snake one. And so when he gets after going through this, his weapon does not break, the katana or the daggers, but he's been switching out. He's been like using them. He finds out the sword is better with the monkey, with speed, along with then the daggers are good with the fish, the dog, and the bat. And the katana is good with the cat-like enemy. Which he's been like taking whatever parts he could that would like increase like in something. He doesn't like if he can do this, then they have to be like worth something, or he can use them for something. So yeah, that's what he's like thinking. And so what happens next is like he gets to the boss area. He does ask. He says, "Mika, is there any more enemies around?" Which he does look at the map. He goes on the first floor. There's no enemies there. There's like on the second floor, no enemies there. Which he's been able to pinpoint them. She goes, "Nope, all enemies are defeated. Only one is left is the boss." And basically, he has gained 10 points for every level. Which he was like, "All right, I'm not gonna go in without resting first." He has no fatigue, but he does feel tired. So that's what he just rests though. So Mika just says, "Are you going to increase your level? You are level 15." No, he's not level 15. He's about the enemies were in this one on basically the city streets. They were about level. Fifth. They were about like level 10, which he basically grinded them until he got to level 12. Then with the enemies in the sewer, they were about like level 13. No, level 14. So basically, he grinded them until he got to level 20. Which he just says, yeah, that's a good idea. So he was level 6, then 1, 2, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120, 100, wait, 100. Yeah, 120, 130, 140, 150. He has 150 points plus his other points, which was just basically points he got. So, if I did my calculations correct, the points, since he had 50 points, he put 5 in 5 in, strength, 6 in agility, sense was at least, I think I said 11. So he put that in, and it was basically made that a 16. Vitality was 19, so he made that at least a 20. Then 21, 25 in intelligence, and AP 16. So basically, I think he had around like at least 10 to maybe 20 points left, or like a little bit more than that. So let's just say 25 points. If I have to fix it, then I will. So yeah, so 150 plus then an extra 10, so 35. So he has 185 points. And so he increases his strength. No, he goes to intelligence. He increases that to at least be a 40. He does the same thing with his strength. So basically that's about okay. He increase. So basically, if you guys want to keep track, you can. Actually, I'm gonna have to. Hold on. Okay, I'll keep track after the video later. But yeah. Anyways, he makes his strength 40, his intelligence 40. He makes then his agility at least a 35. He makes his vitality at least a 30. No, 39. Along with sense is around 30. And AP is not 40, but 32. So yeah. In which he presses confirm, and he feels a lot stronger, a lot, more agile and everything else. He goes, huh, all right. So he says he's still gonna rest though, and Mikai says, all right. So what happens then after 10 minutes of resting? He goes. He does. The weapons aren't gonna break, but because I'm gonna put in a forging system after a certain point. That's all I'm gonna say. I know you're gonna probably say, "Oh, don't spoil it," but yeah, you guys probably figure that out. You know me. But yeah, so then he goes down into the dungeon, the final boss, and what he finds out is, okay, so Sun Jin Woo had a snake. Me, we're not doing that. No. We're not doing that. We are doing a little bit more different. So, we are making this boss. Since he's level 20, he has like these stats. It's still, stronger than him by level, not by stat wise. It's still stronger than him. But this boss is going to be, well, it's going to be a bear that has, well, that looks like it has, no, not a bear. I was trying to think of it. Let's just go with this. We're making a freaking Cerberus. Yeah, we're doing a Cerberus. Wait, no. I'm gonna have to follow the whole entire other thing. We can't make it a Cerberus. Darn it. I'm not trying to copy some things. I said I can't copy some things. Oh wait, yeah. There was also another. If I ever said I was gonna make a solo level in Deku, what if there's a certain girl that I was gonna make? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, whatever. So basically, Izuku is going to fight. Since there is water around, but it's still like a grass area, like the first boss in the dungeon, like with the snake. But it's, like I said, it's not. It looks like that. That's the dungeon bottom floor. Hold on, everyone. Alright, so imagine this. A lizard mixed with a bat and a dog. Basically, that is what Deku's fighting. and it is, well, big. And he goes like, "What the heck is that?" As it says the name, the beast or the king that dwells inside the city. He goes, "Huh? Okay." Um, he just gets about both daggers. He's like, "All right, let's see if I can fight this thing." As Deku, just runs at him with incredible speed. He basically then jumps up and tries to slash down. Well, makes an X like slash into the king of the city, but he dodges it. And it is faster than him. Well, it's a little bit faster than him, and it hits Deku, send him flying into a wall, which does a lot of damage, like half of his health. So basically, then he increases. Basically he takes the potion that does a random status effect, and it is agility again. So basically, agility, his speed and everything. So then he runs at it again, and he's a lot faster. He's then basically trying to. He does hit it, and he's like able to then go rapidly, does a whole entire jumping around, cutting it, even going onto the fur and slashing at it too. And well, Deku's doing a lot of damage, as then all of a sudden it goes to a second stage. Deku didn't notice during this. It had it basically was while he was doing it, it was breathing a little bit of fire, and so it starts to go on fire. And Izuku was like, "What the?" So what he does is he puts the daggers back into his storage and gets at the katana. The katana then, for some reason, it started to glow a little bit. It has a. I'm making them have status of to have that their own abilities and effects. So yeah, as an attacker saying, "Okay, this is new." As then it starts to glow with the fire, but when the fire on the sword starts, the look of the flame starts to glow on the sword. It's all blue and coming off of it, and it's going up into the sky, looking like how the sword is completely on fire. As Mika says, "Izuku, I didn't know your weapons can do that, or the system will allow it." He was like, "I didn't know either, but bad time to come in." As it jumps at Izuku, but while it jumps, it's making a slash at him, which a claw, the claw's on fire. So basically, it's making a claw slash of fire going at him, which he dodges it, as he does see the slash that it made fire slashes go through it. As he was like, "Okay, time to end this thing." As then he just runs at it, puts more. I think I did say his agility was going to be around. I said 35. So he increases it by 1. He increases it by 3 and made his strength by 2. So yeah. So 42. So 35. Then increased it to be 36. 38. And then he basically goes right at the head of the beast and slashes right through it. He does get a little bit of a burn, and he basically feels it. But, he takes it. He killed the beast, and what happens next is he gets an item. This item, well, basically he reads, he gets a little screen saying, mission complete. Complete dungeon, items gain, get. Oh, yeah. He basically can carve out items. I forgot to mention that he can carve out items, and he gets items from monsters that he's slain. So yeah, I'm kind of doing a little bit of because I played Monster Hunter World, I'm doing a little bit of combining that I wanted to do in this what if. So yeah. So anyways, basically though he can't do anything with the king of the city. He can't do that. He can only do it at the No, he can. So basically, the items get is fire. A basically a bag that's saying that will, cause I think it'll be good. And the burn effect will basically make it. I mean, not the burn. Basically, a powder will basically make sure that he's always going to be resistant to some things, and also it did, because it did say about like the blah, blah. Also like a little information about the beast appears. It said it had burn and poison effects. Hold on. Oh, sorry. But the first stage it had poison if he got bitten. Second stage was burn. So basically this will make sure he gets preventing from burn and then also from poison, along with giving him a 40% physical. Hold on. Basically, what happened with Sun Jin Woo, when he had that power, I think it was like that permanent 46 static, 46% damage reduction, or physical appearance or something. So yeah. So that's what happens. Along with what happens then, it has basically two new, along with basically a new sword. He basically can choose. It basically has sword, daggers, a pistol, and a bow. And he can choose two items. He looks at each one. The sword is just like the first sword he has, but it just has a little bit more fire damage to it. Daggers, fire damage. But then he has a bow and then pistols. Basically, it'll be dual wield pistols, so that counts as one item, and then a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow basically will basically be used for situations that what he'll need, and it also will have a burn effect if it hits people, along with it then we could use in different scenarios. He can build craft stuff, it says, to fit this bow. And he was like, crafting? Huh? So then Mika comes out and says, well, if you choose this, the bow and the pistols, you'll be able to craft certain things. So you can go lethal rounds or non-lethal. With the bow, it seems like you can make a somewhat like a grappling hook, and basically it will reel you back up then. As he says, like in the movies, in spy movies, which, she basically says, well, I don't know what a movie is, but he basically explains it real quick. She goes, oh, yes, actually. It's like, huh, alright. As then he chooses both the pistols and the bow and arrow. As then all of a sudden, a new screen appears. The crafting screen. And, well, not the crafting, more like the forging / crafting screen. And so, he basically walks over to the monster, as then he basically is able to see what items he could take off of it. The fangs, along with, well, some of the fur. He's able to do that. And which, he basically touches on them. He doesn't, really does what the monster hunters do. He basically just touches it, and what happens is the fangs, as an item he can use to forge or craft with, basically, and the fur turns into a little bit of he's able to use it with one of the other items to basically make armor with. So yeah. Oh, that's my mom, sorry. So basically, after that, everything starts to disappear, as in he's right back at the beginning of where he was. As just then, his level did go up. He went about 3 levels, so he was about 23. No, 5 levels. He's about 25. As then, the weapons he has out, with the daggers he put them away, but he has a sword, and it's not on fire anymore. It only activated because, as basically he didn't notice that it says ability activates on half health, which that was pretty lucky for him because it increased his attack power too. So, yeah. As then, basically what Izuku sees is a villain holding someone hostage. Hold on. Alright, okay. I don't care. My parents are yelling, so ignore them. So basically, Izuku sees a villain holding someone hostage, and it's a girl from his school. So he can't see through the crowd though. All he can see is a villain, holding the girl, and heroes are trying to capture him. But so Izuku sees the building, like the alleyway, as he basically jumps on one wall and jumps off the other one, and he just goes up. He goes on top of the building. He puts away the katana back into the storage. I mean, his infinite storage space, and gets out the bow and arrow. And automatically, he's already highly like it seems like he's already skilled with it. And he doesn't have, he will have abilities slash skills, but there is no like point system to make them stronger. I'll have to go back and solo level and look that up. But you guys can tell me in the comments too, please. Thank you. But yeah, so he basically is running along the rooftops, and when the guy, basically when the villain stopped, he says, "Any one of you heroes move, I'll kill her." She's going, "No, please, no, I was on a date with my boyfriend." And basically the villain says, "Wait, you mean the guy that ran away for holding another girl's hand?" She goes, "Wait, what? He cheated on me." And he was like, "Wow, girl, I feel so sorry, I will let you go." She goes, "Would you really?" He goes like, "No, that's a lie." As a hero basically says, "Let her go." Villain and Mirko's there. She doesn't want to move. As then Izuku pulls back on the bow. Mika says, like, "What are you gonna do?" He goes, "I'm aiming for the shoulder. How much force can I have to put into this bow so that way it can pierce it? At least all the way to the bone." She goes, "I don't know. Test it out and see." She has this evil grin on her face. He goes, whatever, he loses his arm, right? So she goes, "Yeah, he deserves it." Then basically he pulled it back with all his force and then lets it go. As when he did, there was like a major shockwave that happened. And so, what happens is with the arrow, it basically goes right all the way into the villain's shoulder. He was holding her with her right arm. Like, he basically had his left shoulder cleared. As basically Zuko hits him in the left shoulder. As then it basically sends him flying into the wall as he's pierced right into it. He goes, "Ah! It hurts! Who the freak shot me?" As he sees an arrow. He goes, "An arrow? Who shot me with an arrow?" And Zuko's just hot on the rooftop, just standing there. His hair hasn't changed. Well, his hair hasn't changed, but I'm making it like it will. It'll just turn black. But I'm not gonna make it like Sun Jin Woo. I'll make it a little bit different. I'm gonna no, we're giving the Sun Jin Woo treatment. We're making him, his hair will now. We're making his hair still black and green, but it'll just like he'll have a little bit of the Sun Jin Woo haircut, but not really. It'll be a little bit long still. I mean, like it'll still like. It'll just be his hair will be trimmed down more. So yeah, it had grew a little bit long. Since he like made it like for a whole entire month, it was long. He didn't realize it. He needed a haircut. So yeah. So basically, he basically shot. But the heroes are rushing over to the girl. The girl just sees a guy with, well, his eye color has changed though. I'm not making it green. I want to make it like, I do like the color of blue with the whole entire solo leveling system. So I'm making it blue. His eye color has changed because of the leveling system. That's the first change. So yeah. And she just sees a guy with glowing eye, like, on top of the rooftop, it looks like. As then he just turns around and just starts running away. And where she goes, Who is that? And Mirko just asks if she's alright. She goes, "Yeah, there was a guy up there that looked like he shot the arrow." And Mirko says, "Alright, thank you." As she basically tells the other heroes to, go see if he's alright and get him to a hospital or something to get his arm fixed and everything. As she jumps onto the rooftop and, well, surprise, Izuku's not there. He's gone. So Izuku gets back, puts away the bow and the arrows and goes back to the hospital. He basically, they ask if he's alright. He goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then they basically the nurse tells the doctor the next day. He says, "All right, we're gonna have to make sure you're okay again. So stay extra 2 days." And he calls up his mom, tells him that. So yeah, so basically Izuku for the next 2 to 3 days basically has gone. He looks like he got taller, and he kind of looks like a little bit like the highest Son Jinwoo. He looks at like a little bit. So yeah, and so what happens is the nurse comes in. She goes, "Izuku, you're." She sees him just working out, and she's like, "Whoa!" And that's what she says to her in her head. And he's like, Is this really Izuku?" And she checks it. It's Izuku. She goes like, "All right, never mind then." So she says, "All right, you're free to go." He was like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, can you put on a?" And he realized, he was like, "Oh, his face is blush." He goes like, "Oh, so sorry." He puts it on. And he goes like, "I I forget sometimes." She goes, "That's no problem." Anyways, what were you doing? He was like, "Oh, just finishing up my workout." He goes, "Wow, you've been doing it ever since you came here." I was like, "Yeah, I figured after the whole entire being on me, I should work out and such." She goes, "No, that's a good way to look at it." So yeah, so he signs the paper to be released, and well, she does think I shouldn't do this, which I'm not going to. I was about to. It's good that I double checked. So yeah, I was gonna do like the whole entire like Sun Jiwoo, nurse asking him, for his number or something. But hey, I remember he's 14, so it's not gonna happen. Well, she was in her mid-20s, I think, so it looked like it. Well, whatever. Hard to tell. Anyways, in the Sandra Moon comic, solo movie comic. But anyways, so Izuku gets out. He has his phone. He calls his mom up. He says he got out just a few minutes ago, and he's going to go get a haircut. She goes, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah. Just don't mind if I look different, all right?" She goes, "Oh, I won't mind it that much." So yeah, so basically, he goes, and he basically though, he had some money for killing the monsters and doing a little bit of the side quest with just like helping out some people, like 10 people, talking to some, like just the system just giving him like little cash grabs. So yeah, so basically what happens then, he has money, a lot of it actually, and well, he goes to basically he converts, let's say in cash wise in the leveling system, it's about 50 million. Then when he converts half of that, so that way he has 10 million in money to spend. It converts to the same amount as cash. So basically 10 million. It converts into like a little bit like 20 million, just a little bit like more, like they're basically 10 million to like 20 million basically he has, which surprising him. Which Mika comes out and says, "Well, I didn't know it would basically be a lot more than what." He was like, "Yeah, no kidding." I didn't make a bank account. And she agrees. So then he realized there were some cores that he does have, which then he sells, and he converts that to regular money. She goes, "Huh, all right." So, what Izuku does, he basically goes to a bank first, opens up an account, which they're surprised about him, and then he says he would like to, which he asks how old he says he's 14. They say, "Well, we wouldn't need you to have your mother here, but we're going to bend the rules a little bit." So yeah, and he opens up his account, and he puts in his 20 mil. He puts at least 10 million in, and then puts about, not all of it, but like he puts around 15 million in. No, that'll be still too much on hand. Yeah, no, 15 million in. So yeah, so then he goes to a haircut place. It only costs like, it's like yen, 10 million, 15 million yen. So basically, he goes to a haircut place. He gets his haircut. You could decide on it. But basically, he looks like Sun Jin Woo a little bit, but the sides and the back are cut. I mean, are a little bit longer, along with the front just being like in the picture. That's it. So yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna have to order something real quick. Hold on. So yeah. So anyways, that's his haircut, and he's gonna have to get new clothes because the hospital just gave him some new clothes. So yeah, he goes home. He gets home. He tells his mom, and his mom looks at him. She goes, "Zuko?" Like she's just shocked to see how tall he got. He's taller than her. He goes, "Yeah, hey." She goes, "Is that you?" He was like, "Yeah, mom. You cool? Everything good?" She goes, "Yeah. How did you?" He was like, "Growth spurt? I don't know. I just started growing real quick. Hospital food, right?" She goes, "Yeah. Anyways, I don't think your old clothes are gonna fit you no more." He goes, "Yeah. Also, I have a bank account." She goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah. I'm not gonna hide this from you, mom." So he was the only one that could see Mikasa. Mika. I'm calling him really, short for Mikasa. I mean Mika. Yeah. Her name's Mika now. But anyways, he just has her, appear right in front of his mom as they explain what happened. Like Mika explains what happened. He became a player. The walls of the world don't rely on him. Basically don't apply to him as such, and he's going to fight. Fight these dungeons, but he's gonna be able to access them. There's dungeons, and then there's like these gates that will open that he can walk through. That he'll have to fight, but he's able to go to them when they're open, which I will help him out. She goes, "Okay, so this ain't quirk." He goes, "No, Mom, I'm still quirkless, but I'm not gonna become a hero." She goes, "Then what are you gonna become?" He goes, "I technically already started doing vigilante work." She goes, "Wait, what?" And he says, "I saved an old classmate of mine, and yeah, so I'm thinking about becoming a vigilante." He says, "I am technically quirkless," which she doesn't object to this. She asks why. He tells Bakugo what he did, everything, and then what All Might said to him. She goes, "Oh yeah, become a hero. Don't be no." She says, "Yeah, become a vigilante. Don't become a hero. Just don't get caught. That's all I'm asking." He goes, "I won't. Besides, who's gonna stop me? Heroes, villains? It's gonna be too easy." And then he does. He says, "Mika, the system gives me tasks, and am I allowed to override them, or will I have to kill people?" She goes, "Oh yes, definitely, but depending, since technically somehow the system is adapting to you and do what you want, but some things you will not be able to, like it made me, and it somehow got a system to forge and everything. The more you grow, it will grow. The more you want something, it will make for you. It will accommodate you and your purposes." It's like, all right, so he doesn't know about the ranking of the keys and such. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go get my dinner, so I'm gonna have to just pause and then come back. But if I have to, I will make a part one, but with like two basically, and a two-parter basically. What I'm saying is, it's part one cut into two parts if the recording stops. All right, everyone. So I'll be right back. All right, everyone. I'm back. I just ate my dinner, so I lost track where I was. I tried to do some retracking. So I think I'm at where Izuku told his mom, and he doesn't get caught. As long as he doesn't get caught, she's fine, and with it, and yeah. So so basically he says, "It's not like I can get caught." So yeah, Mika just laughs at that. Says, "You won't easily, because you'll be stronger than everyone else." So yeah. So anyways, we're gonna skip a couple of months. Izuku has done a lot of training, done a lot of the working out, and he figured out that he can, go over the limit that it says, 100. So what happens is Inko has been joining him, in these workouts, and she even got going back to her original self. So yeah, so that's what happened. Izuku has also, because of his levels, he has also gained a couple of abilities. I will have to go back and look at them. All right. But I remember one of them to be Dominator Hand. Um, you know, but I don't know if that's going to be you know. So basically, Izuku has a lot of points that he's going to put into. He has also done a lot of vigilante work. Heck, he's actually been able to make his own clothing. He has actually gone shopping for his own clothing. Oh yeah, that's where I was at in that one. Like, I told her, then he said he's going to have to go shopping. Yeah. So basically, he's gone shopping for clothing, and basically it's in since that was the second month, it just started. So he went back to school to finish up whatever tests he had to do, and then he goes and goes through everything. Like, during that 10 months, yeah, Izuku has become very broken. He got the key systems, that too I remember saying. So yeah, he knows about the key system and all that. So he has about 13 C keys. I mean E, then 10 D rank keys, along with 5 C rank keys and 4 4 B rank and 1 A rank. That's all he has right now, which he's going to go in and go to them. The C rank keys he can actually sell at the shop, since basically the C rank keys tell him what levels he'll have to beat to face them, and he's already 25, so he doesn't really need to do any C ranks, but he can convert them into his B rankings. Like, he can basically convert them with the B rank to make them even stronger. So basically, it actually says he can use 10 on 2 of them, and then he can do that with the C rank keys. So he basically converts 10. He converts 9 into one of the B rank keys. Does the same amount number of the B rank to the C rank. C rank, can be converted with just 2, and so yeah. So basically, the the C rank keys, he then puts into a couple into the next one, and then he converts the other B rank keys into the next one, into the other B rank key. He basically transfers everything. So yeah, so that's what he does, and that's what happens. So this is couple months. 5 months pass. He very made a name for himself as a vigilante. Is Inko actually want him to do homeschooled? So, yeah, because of his leveling up and such, they basically went to the principal's office of the high school that he would have gone to, and actually asked them could he be in a certain spot, and then go as a regular student, after so long. As the principal, sees Izuku, sees a picture of him, and, well, he just says, I don't see the reason, and Izuku just explains it. That he's trying to become stronger without a quirk, trying to get physically fit and make sure that no one can ever stop him. So it would be pretty grateful if he could, spend a whole entire year at home, then come back to school during the next year. Is that alright? And the principal, says, yes, actually. That'll be quite alright. So, yeah. So, basically, Izuku says thank you to him, and, they leave. And heck, actually, so after that was during so basically it's 2 months plus 5, that was the 7th month. So And then, like, people have called him Solo, like, as the vigilante Solo, which no one understands why. He's always by himself, so it just fits. Mirko and Eraserhead have been trying to catch this vigilante for a while. Izuku basically gets a lot of, basically sleeps. He does them at night, the whole entire thing. He actually even he got into like dungeons after this. So basically, like, it was started the 7th month. So throughout the 7th month, he started to craft his own gear. It's basically even though he won't get hurt, he's since he's been going through dungeons and finding villains, his levels have gone up to basically he was at 25, so right now he's about 40. No, so I mean he's about like 80, and he has not been using any of his points because he's trying to make sure something. He has got a couple of abilities, so I'm gonna look them up real quick. So hold on. Okay, so so here's the skills. Basically, he even has passive skills since he's level 80. So like, I don't know what level he like Sunjin Woo got them, but here's the thing: Izuku has Sprint, Dagger Throw, Dominator's Touch, Bloodlust / Killer Intent, a Vital Strike. I think there's another one. Let me double check. Okay, he did get a rune though to gain stealth. I'm not gonna lie about that. He did. He was taking a villain, and that villain when he took it down, and, he got an ability called rune, which he crushed it, and he got stealth. All right, and I don't know if he can get this without doing something, but just in case, maybe he has Dragon Fear. But in the comments, please let me know that. Now with the passive skills, I'm going to try to remember them. I'm gonna say 3 at a time, and then pause and go back to it. All right. So he has Perseverance, Rehabilitation, and Longevity. Let me just double check that. Will of Rehabilitation. Those are passive skills. Those are the only 3 he has right now, because other ones I think they're like he has to get something else for it. Like, he has to be like what Sunjin Woo did. I'm not gonna spoil it, but what he does, Izuku will have to do. So yeah, so this is like since he's been doing this for around like 5 months, and he's going to the 8th. He's like I said, he should have been like level 80 by now, but he hasn't gone into he has gone to like the C rank and the E rank dungeons, but he hasn't done nothing but that, along with taking on villains and like other small time crooks. That's it. So yeah. So anyways, during the 8th month, I'm only covering all the way up to the 10th month, and that's it, everyone. But during the 8th month, he runs into somebody during his patrol. Izuku has gained his gear, which is just boots, pants, also a jacket along with a shirt that he has. The jacket has a hood, and it has like a defense. He made it. Like the gear, Mika says like she'll like update the system so you can make it. So basically, it's armor that he can make, then armor he to be physical armor, then armor he can make so that way it'll be like invisible, no one would see it. So he has his vigilante gear, and he also has a mask on, in which it's kind of a mixture. The mask is kind of a mixture in Code Vein, looking like, without the filters on it. And then the jacket is what Sunjin Woo will really have. The pants have like a little bit guards on it and pockets like for knives and his guns. And the jacket does have an area for like a sheath for the sword to go into, an area for the bow and the arrows to be. So yeah. So anyways, he meets Eraserhead. As Aizawa says, you must be Solo. It's been a while. I've been looking for you, for a while now, kid. Come peacefully, and you won't have no charges on you for doing hero work without a hero license. And then Izuku just says, me? being charged for being a hero without a hero license. Wow. Does that apply to people with quirks or people without quirks? He's like, what do you mean? He was like, I mean, seriously, try to deactivate this. As Zuko basically, only had one dagger in his pocket because he figured whenever he sees a Razorhead, he was going to need it because he basically had a feeling, and plus also he heard on the news. So yeah, so basically Eraserhead activates his quirk as Zuko's still able to pull out the dagger, and he puts it into like one of his side pockets that he has. And he goes, "What the?" Eraserhead is basically saying. He goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's not a quirk." As then all of a sudden he used sprint, and then Dominator's touch as basically Aizawa comes to him. As then he slams Aizawa into the building, the top of it, and he just says, "And you're not strong enough to catch me. See ya." And then he just runs off and jumps off the building. And after that, he basically he uses stealth to get out of there, goes all the way home. And then he figures he's gonna have to put some points in, but he basically, since there are 12 days in a month, or 4 weeks in a month, 3, then 1, 2, so yeah, 4 weeks in a month basically. And every day he gets 10 points. So so basically do 4 weeks, and then he gets 7 times 4, 7 times 10, and then times that by 4. And then you'll get that point, which I will do after this. So yeah. But anyways, during the 10th month, he's not gonna be. He gets his computer for online school, and yeah, that's how it's gonna happen. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this what if. This is a vigilante what if, so you guys know it's not gonna become a hero. So yeah. But he is gonna come into UA and just save them when the villains attack. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. Have a nice day, night, wherever you guys are. Bye everyone.